So before I get into the haul, I would like to give an extra special thank you to Emil and the whole crew at Queen City Bookstore for putting this together. Queen City Bookstore is the most old school shop you're going to find here in Buffalo. So if you're ever in the area, that's the shop to check out. They're all about the comics, and this convention definitely reflects that. A few toy and game vendors, but it's mainly all just comics, and I'm so excited to get into this. So the first booth I went to was Queen City's. They had some $2 books, some $5 books, and some priced issues. So from their $2 books, I picked up a Detective Comics $6.99. This is a pretty awesome cover of Batman swimming in some blood. Pretty brutal. Next up, we have a really low grade but Silver Age Green Lantern number 61. Cover is almost detached and there's some writing on it. Pretty low grade, but you got Alan Scott Green Lantern right there, and just pretty cool. So Silver Age Green Lantern for $2, why not? Next up, I have a couple $5 books here. This one is Detective Comics $4.98. And then we also have $4.99 to go with it. So nice little set there. Add to my Detective Comics run. And then we have another Silver Age Green Lantern book. This is issue number 46. Not a horrible looking copy. Definitely not high grade, but not bad looking. This one had a pretty cool center fold, so nice, not bad. This next one's really cool. I've never seen this before, and I'm a big metalhead. I'm always looking for stuff like that, weird, different stuff, and this is Cryptic Writings of Megadeth from 1997. That's awesome. I'd never heard of that. You got Vic Rattlehead right there on the cover reading some kind of a scroll. That is just such a cool cover, very sharp book. Looks like it hadn't been touched, just kept in pristine shape, so very excited to see what that's all about. I've never heard of that one before. This next one here, it's a really cool embossed cover that I hadn't seen before. I do have a few of these Batman embossed covers, but this one is Shadow of the Bat number 35, and kind of has a bit of a metallic sort of look with the matte on top of the glossy finish. Cool. We have this one I actually bought for Luke. I had recently gotten him part 4 of The Dark Knight Returns. That's his favorite comic of all time. Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. And Carrie Kelly is actually his favorite Robin. So I saw this. He had it for $7, but he wound up giving it to me for $5. And it's book number 3, The Hunt, with Carrie Kelly right there. That's her first cover appearance, I do believe. Pretty rough copy, but he doesn't mind, and he is just over the moon excited to have that, so very, very excited I found that. So that was all I picked up from Queen City. Again, awesome store here in Buffalo, so if you're ever in the area, they are the shop to check out. Okay, next up, we have a stack of books from guy who had some really, really cool stuff. I'm really happy I was able to get a cool Batman key that I needed for my collection from this guy. Got Batman $4.85. There's no sticker on here, so I don't know how much I paid for this, but it was only like a couple dollars, I think. And it's a cool Kelly Jones cover where he drew Black Mask. Really like that. Next up, we have Detective Comics 809, Death of Stephanie Brown. Pretty nice cover there. I always like that. Have Batman number 475, first Renee Montoya. I needed that for my collection, so I was happy to grab that. Okay, this next one, I was so excited to find it, and then when I got it home, I realized it was even cooler. I didn't know this when I was there. So I picked up Batman 428. This is The Death of Jason Todd. I already needed this for my collection. I had been looking for a good high-grade copy of this book. and about $30 is what I would expect to pay for it. I didn't even notice when I was at the convention. I was just so excited to find a copy of this book that looks so sharp, but this is the newsstand as well, and for the late 80s when this came out, I think those were pretty rare. They were starting to decline in numbers, so I was very, very, very excited to discover that, and for such a cool key book that I needed. It's a very nice, sharp copy. So, nice Mike Mignola cover. Jason in Shambles. Love it. Absolutely need that. I'm a huge Red Hood Jason fan, so that's a book that I've been wanting for a little while, and Death in the Family was a big part in getting me into comics when I was a little kid, so love that. Very important to me. And then next up we have Batman 199. This is a cool Silver Age, pretty high grade, pretty sharp looking copy there. Batman at the newsstand trying to get his own book, but it's all sold out. Carmine Infantino goodness there, love it. Next up we're getting into some of the 50-cent books. So first up, World's Finest Book 3, Third Year. This is just a cool cover. I just really liked that with the Joker. And then next up we have a Bronze Age, World's Finest 242. I don't know who that lady is, so let me know if she's somebody important, but looks like it's a another Super Sons story. Those are always pretty fun. Always try to pick up World's Finest, Brave and the Bold, that kind of stuff when I can, so why not for 50 cents? It's a pretty nice looking copy there. I have a lot of Batman Detective Comics, and I try to be a little bit pickier these days about what I'm picking up. Of course, I definitely want to fill my Batman run eventually, but for right now I'm just trying to avoid impulse buying too much. But this one really caught my eye right here. This is Detective Comics 804 with a really cool Mr. Freeze cover. Just love the colors there. Very gorgeous art, so not bad. 50 cents. And then we have Brave and the Bold, number 188, Rosenthorn. I don't know anything about that character, but she looks a lot like Poison Ivy. So, cool. Another 50-cent book. Next up we have a little 3-issue Elseworld set that I've been looking to complete. I had one part of this story, but they had all 3, so I decided to just double dip on it. This is Batman Hollywood Night, Part 1. Part 2. This is the one I already had, so double dip there. And then Part 3. Excited to finally be able to read that story. And then another full run little mini series for some nice reading material. We have Batman GCPD Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice set there. And then next up I have some $2 books that were from that same vendor. This right here is The Witching Hour, number 13. Nice Neil Adams cover, very creepy. Got some weird spider with like a skull. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. It says $3. All these $2 books say $3, but they were $2. Next up, this is Action Comics number 869. I thought there was something important to this. I don't think there is. I think there was like a recalled version of this, but this is not that version. I think Superman and Pa Kent were getting lit on the other version, and not so much in this one. So that's okay. $2, why not, for the Action Comics collection. Next up, this one's actually really cool for $2. This one has a little bit of value to it. It's Action Comics 421. Nice Bronze Age book right there with a Popeye ripoff. Blatant Popeye ripoff. And I see this book going for a little bit more money. pretty sharp looking copy other than the little bit of discoloration there. Very cool. I believe this is a Nick Cardy cover too, so I've actually been really starting to appreciate his art. He's starting to get up there with Neil Adams as one that I really like to collect. So that was all from the second booth that I went to, and that was probably the best one, just for the 50-cent books, for that Batman 428. Oh my goodness. So next up, I went to another really cool booth. This is a seller that I see at a lot of these conventions, and he always has a lot of cool silver and Bronze Age stuff. First off, here to show you, I have a Spectre #1. This is a low grade, cover detached copy. It's $20, and I figured just to have a copy of the book to be able to read the story overall, it doesn't present too bad, so why not get a low grade copy for cheap? Now that I finished my Demon run, I was thinking about maybe tackling a Spectre run, so get my foot in the door for $20, why not? And then next up we have a Batman anniversary issue. This is Detective Comics 526, which is Batman's 500th appearance in Detective Comics. Very cool. Love that cover there. I always really like picking up the anniversary issues. They're always really cool, fun books. So awesome right there. And then this last book I picked up from that guy is something that I was so excited when I first saw it. I had to actually ask him because he had $5 on it, and I had to ask, like, is this actually $5? I wanted to make sure it wasn't $50 and I was misreading it, because people always overpriced this book for some reason. We will show that off now. It is Batman 404, the start of year 1, first Batman post-Crisis on Infinite Earths retelling of his origin by Frank Miller for $5. I never see this book that cheap. It's a little bit low grade, there's some spine ticks, but even for that, I always see this book going around $20, even in lower grade, $20 to $40, so to find a copy for $5, I was over the moon excited. We're getting to the last 2 books, and these were from 2 different guys, so I got 1 book from each of them. And I picked up this Batman Annual #25. This is an awesome Batman cover holding Red Hood, homage to Death in the Family by Jock. I was glad to pick that up. That's one that I've been keeping my eyes out for a little while. And lastly, this is a book that I'm very excited to pick up. I've been picking up a lot of Neil Adams stuff, and this is a book that's very important, and one that I always do see going for a little bit more money, so as soon as I saw this, I snagged it up. It's Detective Comics 395, and I believe this is the first time Neil Adams did interior art on Detective Comics. I think before that it was always just covers, so very awesome. I always love that cover there, very iconic, and I got this for $5, so definitely had to snag that up. So I hope you enjoyed watching this, and thank you. Peace.